So if you look carefully, you see we write arc into bracket Q models. And if you remember in our last class, our Q were the number of lags that you are going to include in a model. So in this case, we have arc into bracket Q model. And arc, it means autoregressive conditional heteroscedasticity. So you can see the word condition here. The word condition is already introduced, then autoregressive, and then heteroscedasticity. The combination of the three words is what you are calling the arc model. So the arc model was proposed by Ego to model time varying volatility. Its intention was to model the volatility that changes over time. The idea is that today's volatility depends on past squared shocks, or it depends on past errors. That's why we are saying that it is varying or it is changing over time. So the simple representation in an equation is this. So this is the return. So this return here depends on, this is a shock, as error term. So the current volatility or the volatility today depends on the shock, on the previous period shock, and the error term. So this one could be expanded to this. Okay. The current volatility or the current period changes in a time series data depends on one, current or the period, that period t minus 1, period t minus 2, period t all the way up to t, period t. And this q is the same q we have here. So if we are going back 10 periods, so this q is 10. So in such a case, the current period volatility will, let's say this is 2025. So it will start with 2024, 2023, 2022, all the way up to 2015. So 10 periods behind. So the current shock or the current volatility is affected by previous periods shock. So that is arc model in its mathematical representation, whereby this is the current volatility, the current period's volatility. Alpha is the coefficient. This alpha 1, alpha 2, coefficient, and then this E is the shocks, period squared return shock. We can have shocks up to Q, where Q is the number of past periods we are considering. So we move forward. So they, in case we are modeling arc 1, meaning it is arc 1 here, arc model into bracket 1. So in case we are in the year 2025, we will be modeling back 1 year. So that is year 2024. The current period volatility or the volatility of 2025 will be affected by the shock of 2024. That's why we have t minus 1 here. So this one, it is the same as this one here. So that is just a representation. In case now we want to add, let's assume we add Q2, arc 2 So if we add 2, it means that we will be going back 2 periods. So here we just come and add, another one, but in this case, we just come at that one, but in this case, our alpha will be alpha 2, and this one will be t minus 2, like that. So we are going back t periods, or the current volatility is affected by the shock of previous 2 periods. So that is a general representation of an ARC model. Then we look at the GARCH. And about GARCH, we are introducing the term generalized. So we call it generalized ARC model, and it becomes GARCH model. So in practice, ARC model often requires many lags, that is lag Q, to make it more efficient. So this person extended it to include past variance, or what we call volatility, and he came up with what we call now the GARCH model. So GARCH model is an extension of an ARC model by introducing what we call the past variance or the past volatility. Therefore, the current volatility depends on two things. One, it depends on yesterday's shock, and it also depends on yesterday's volatility. So this is our ARC, or this is our GARCH PQ model. So if you look here, we had our ARC Q. So when we introduce G to become GARCH, we also introduced another thing called P. So in this GARCH model, we have GARCH PQ. This Q is very similar to what we had in our ARC model, but now we have introduced P, and this P represents past variance or past volatility. And the representation of model is simply like this. So now, if you look carefully, you see that this is our current volatility. This is a constant here is what we had previously in the ARC model. So this one is for Q, the past shocks. Then this one here is what we have introduced, what we are calling now the volatility. So the volatility is P. So that's why we have Q at the top. Then we have P at the top here. So if we want Q to be 1 and P to be 1, then this one will be 1 model. If you want Q to be 2 and P to be 2, GARCH PP, GARCH 2 model. As simple as that. Usually, if we have GARCH 1 model, it works well for most financial time series. It will be like this, that the current volatility is given by the past shocks t minus 1, because we are considering 1, that Q is 1, plus the past period's volatility t minus 1, because we are saying P is also 1. So this is GARCH 1 model. So in case we want GARCH 2 model, we'll add another term here, alpha 1. Then we say t minus 2. Then if P is to have another term here, where we'll have t minus 2. So that is a simple representation of the GARCH 1 model. So now we know we can differentiate between the and the GARCH model, whereby in ARC model we only have Q. we only have Q, where Q is the past shocks. We are saying that the current volatility is affected by the past shocks or the past error terms. But when we come to GARCH model, we are saying that the current volatility is affected by two things: the previous shocks and the previous volatility. That is a simple difference between the GARCH and ARC model. So after that, now we go to see how do we carry out this analysis and how we interpret the results using the Stata software.